Well, welcome back to my reading corner. I am excited. I am doing the January TBR. It's already January 4th. I did have my TBR ready and I'm now redoing the whole thing because I had some changes and, well, you know how life is. My TBR is quite ambitious for the time that I actually have to read in January. Next week I'm going to be traveling and I'm going to be busy with work a lot. I do want to keep this ambitious TBR and I am okay with not being able to achieve all of them. I did have an ambitious TBR in December. In December I had 19 books on my TBR and only 4 I didn't read. And I am completely happy with that. So I am taking the same approach for January. I'm just gonna tell you the books that I'm going to be reading. About, I think most of them I know nothing about, and I want to keep it that way. I don't want to read up much about the books prior to reading it. I want to be completely surprised. In the past, knowing some things about the book completely spoiled it for me. I went in with too high expectations. I did know an important twist already, and that kind of completely spoiled it for me. So I want to go in blind for most of them. So I'm not going to be telling you much about the books itself. I'm just going to tell you what I'm going to be reading. I want to read the Booksplosion book of the month, and that is Before I Let Go. All I know about this one is that it is set in Alaska, that it is a new release, and it's currently on the way to my house. So I put the picture in here. The second book that I want to read is for a book club that is with a few members of the amazing Hogwarts Running Club. And with these, I am reading An Ember in the Ashes. Don't know anything about it. One of the members suggested reading it and I am excited to see what it's about. Then I am taking part in the Book in a Jar that is hosted by Book Rose. Amazing booktuber. I love her and I'm excited to take part in the Book in a Jar. And we're reading Slaughterhouse 5. Again, I don't know nothing. The amazing Emma Books has started the Drag Society and she is doing a read-along reread of the whole Shadowhunter series, which is awesome because I just read the first book. Not that excited about it yet, but hearing people rave about the latest books, I really want to read them. But to read them, I want to read the whole series. So I have a lot of reading to do to get to these. I love that Emma Books is doing a year-long read-along and I want to be part of it. And I am currently on the second book and that is what I'm reading in January. The last project I am doing is the Booktubers Recommend. And I kind of stole that from another booktuber. I found it during a readathon. I thought the idea was amazing and I have to look for the original video because I couldn't find it at first, but I'm gonna find it to link it down below. So I have asked a lot of my favorite booktubers to recommend a book and I am putting the recommendations in this jar and I'm picking one each month. I am still waiting for 4 answers, so I'm not doing a complete what's in the jar video yet. I'm hoping to receive some more answers, but I had the idea in like end of December and people were on holiday and people are not responding that quickly. So I'm hoping to get the other 4 answers soon. If you want to recommend me a book, hit me up. I'm happy to take suggestions if these people aren't seeing my message and aren't answering. So the first for January is going to be, we have a winner. And they both die at the end, and this was suggested by Morgie Reads. Morgie Reads is an amazing booktuber that I got to know in the Adventure-a-thon. She was my team captain for the Holiday Elf. So I asked the booktubers to tell me why they're recommending me this book, and let's check what Morgie Reads told me. I think it is an absolutely gorgeous story that has a wonderful theme all about mortality and living your life to the fullest, and as though it is your last day. I couldn't recommend it enough and I hope you enjoy it. That sounds really great and I'm looking forward to it. I have heard good things about this book. So yay, I am getting this book first thing tomorrow morning and I'm excited to get into it. Then on my TBR is The End of the Cramathon, which is until January 2nd. And yes, it is already January 4th, so the Cramathon is over. And for that, I want to read The Most Dangerous Place on Earth. Well, I didn't finish it yet, having a hard time getting into it, but I do want to finish it. The second book that I want to read within the Cramathon is And Every Morning the Way Home Gets Longer and Longer. I did read it. I read it on ebook, so I'm putting it right here. Amazing, cute little book. I really did like it. I liked the topic. And, well, I already read it, so it's on my TBR and it's already done. The third book that I wanted to read for the Cramathon was Way Too Ambitious. I knew the moment that I set down my January TBR that I wouldn't be able to read it within the Cramathon, but I still put it on my TBR and maybe I'm going to be able to get to it later, and that is A Crooked Kingdom. I really do want to read this one, so I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to get to this one. Then I want to take part in the biannual BIBLIATHON. I'm most likely not going to be able to do any of the video challenges. I really do want to, but like my creativity is like not there. So most likely not doing those. I really want to, but not creative enough. So, but I do want to read, and the first challenge is read the group book, and that is Otherworld. I already read that in December, so I'm not going to reread it in January because it's kind of still fresh. I see that challenge as done, even though it's not done within the readathon. I'm totally fine to discuss it, so I'm good on that. The second challenge is read a sequel, and for that I am going to read A Glass Sword. I picked that because I have that on audiobook, and I really need a few audiobooks in there because I will be driving a lot, because I will be traveling a lot, and I need audiobooks to read when I'm not able to read. This will also cover the challenge read a backlist title. The next challenge is read a book you haven't heard of before. Fourth challenge is read a book about mental illness. I was able to combine these because I haven't heard about any of the mental illness books before end of last year, and I'm going to be reading Perks of Being a Wallflower for that. The next challenge is read a book that was mentioned in a book or a movie or a show. And the last challenge I have here is read a book under 200 pages. I'm going to be combining those two again because I will be working. I won't be having that much time. Combining books just needs to be done. And I'm going to be reading The Little Prince. And again, I'm going to be reading that on audiobook. I've read that before, so that's going to be a reread. But it has been over 10 years, and I'm really excited to see how I'm going to perceive this book now. Other than these challenges, I do want to finish a few books that I have started in the past and that I really need to finish. I want January to be a month of finishing up books. The first one is Nevernight. I'm currently listening to that on audiobook, and I am actually listening to that right now, so I'm hoping to kind of finish that today. The next one that I want to finish in January is The Ogre. It's a fun story. I am a bit over a third in, and I have been reading this for almost a year, putting it down, picking it up, putting it down, picking it up. And I really want to finish it. Now that I'm done with my reading slump, I know that I'm going to be able to fly through. There's like 300 pages left, and yeah, that should be totally doable. The next book that I want to finish is Rabenaas. That is a German book by a German author. It is a lot of fun. I had a lot of trouble getting into a book because the world is so complex, because there are so many characters. It reminded me a lot of Six of Crows, like a group of very diverse people getting together, doing a heist kind of story. But this is a lot more out there. This world is a lot more crazy and nonsense. And the group of people is a banshee, a witch, a vampire, a cowboy, an anti-sphinx, a teenager, not a werewolf, a werebull. It sounds kind of fun, and they're actually, like, the heist is trying to catch a really, really bad guy. Half person, half raven, like science accident. I want to finish it. I love the cover, by the way. This publisher is always making like the most amazing covers, And when you order there, you often receive like signed books, which is awesome. So it's a small like publisher in Germany with amazing books, fantasy. And if you can read German and you like fantasy, you like YA, definitely check out this publisher. They have like the most amazing books. The last book on my TBR for January, most likely not going to be able to get there, but I really want to read it. I so want to read it. My God. It's gonna be tough. I know that I won't be able to get to all the books, but I want to. I want to so bad. This is it for my January TBR. My TBR is a total of 4,716 pages in January, and that comes down to 152 books a day with audiobooks. That is totally doable, but it is ambitious because I will be working. I'm really counting on my audiobooks to get me to 150 every day. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, please subscribe to my channel and see you guys soon. Bye.